Hello and welcome to Who Day City. I'm your host Carson, and today, for my first ever upload on YouTube, I'm going to be going over my ideal offseason for my favorite NFL team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Since this is my first video, I will do a bit of a channel introduction. I will be talking all things NFL football. From here on out, I'll be having mock drafts up. I'll be having weekly recaps of games, predictions, all that good stuff. I get enough following. I'll do live streams. It'll be a lot of fun. But I will also more focus on the Bengals than any other NFL team. Obviously, if there's huge news, big free agency signings, big trades, I will cover that. But for now, I'm just going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals in this video. More specifically, what I would do if I were the Cincinnati Bengals this offseason. So we're going to start with free agency, and then I will move into I'd say 3 to 4 rounds. I'll do as of a mock draft as the Bengals. I probably won't do all 7 rounds just because that takes forever, and at a point, I'm just guessing at talent past like the 4th round. So I'll do a 4-round mock draft after this free agency thing. So to start off the free agency, we're going to be using fanspeak.com's Manage the Cap free agency simulator. I also have Over the Cap open, so I can see kind of what they evaluate players to be worth and whatnot. So we're just going to dive into it. Pick my team, Cincinnati Bengals. You can do this for any NFL team, but we're going to be doing it for the Bengals today. So, first thing we look at is the cap space we have available. After, this is the starting cap space, then after all this stuff, we have about 47 million in cap space available, which I like. It's nice. It's nice that we have that much cap space available. Part of that's because we don't pay a lot of people a lot of money when we should. We don't. Last year was the first year we really made a lot of splash big free agent signings. I don't honestly think we're gonna make a lot of big free agent signings this year. That's just how it is. But maybe Mike Brown truly believes that Burrow's the guy to get us to the Super Bowl and wants to give him every asset possible to get us there. So this is just what I would do. So the first step is to clear cap space. You see right here. So it has all the players, all, what they're worth, dead money, and then their cap hit. So as unfortunate as it is to do it, we got to start off 9.6 million cap space is freed by cutting Geno Atkins. It's got to be what it's got to be. It's sad, Geno's been such a staple on our defense for so long, but what I've heard is we're moving to a 3-4 defense, so we really only need one defensive tackle consistently starting. We pay DJ Reader a bunch of money. We need more money if we're going to make some of these signings I want to do. So, Geno Atkins, thank you so much for your service. You mean so much to the Cincinnati Bengals, but we unfortunately have to part ways. Another cut I would make easily is Bobby Hart. He's a below-average right tackle. Hopefully, the mock draft works out where we can get Sewell or Slater. Clearing up almost $6 million in cap space by cutting Bobby Hart's the right move. Some other cuts I would be making, Josh Tupou. I love him. He's a good depth guy, but if we have the chance to clear up $4 million, we clear up $4 million. There are some guys that I'll have the chance to re-sign later. You'll see on the next slide. There's some good depth guys for defensive line that we can re-sign later. $4 million just for one player is not what I would do for a depth guy, really. Another person we're going to be cutting, Ryan Finley. Thanks you for winning that game against the Steelers, but you're bad, dude. Like, Ryan Finley's bad. I'm sorry. He earned some of my respect for that game against the Steelers, but he wasn't good in that game against the Steelers. The Steelers were just... I don't know what happened to the Steelers in that game. It was a great game, though. Another cut, Renell Wren. Again, $1.7 million for a depth guy on defensive line. It's not what I want to do. I'll leave Darius Phillips here for depth for corner. I'm going to go on a little bit of a Stanley Morgan and Keith and Sutherland. It's only $735K each, but together that's $1.4 million in cap space. We want to clear up some. I think that's all the cuts I'll be making. So I'll be saying goodbye to Geno, Bobby Hart, Stanley Morgan, Keith and Sutherland, Ryan Finley, Renell Wren, and Josh Tupou. So that frees it up. Alright, so now we have 71.6 million in cap space remaining as we enter this re-sign period. There's no players we can tag, so we're just going to move right into re-signing. Brandon Allen, thank you, you're gone. Samaje Perine, nope. And here's the one that's tough. We're gonna have to say goodbye to AJ. It's sad, but he did nothing this past year really. Just couldn't catch balls. He's not the same receiver he once was. And considering we could get Jamar Chase in the draft, or there are some wide receivers that are going to hit free agency that I can hopefully get. We can find a better number 3 option behind Higgins and Boyd. So it's emotional to say goodbye to AJ. It's bittersweet. I've had like 3 different AJ Green jerseys throughout my life. I've had one when I was 8 and all that stuff. But it's time to say goodbye to AJ, unfortunately. John Ross never worked out. Sorry, you're gone. Alex Erickson, we're going to let you walk. Same with you, Ethan Carter. Here's the first re-signing I want to make. Quentin Spain. So I'm going to go over the cap. And I'm going to see what they value him at. He's 29. They put him somewhere between 3.7 and 4. So, you know what? Let's start off on the low end. See if we can get him for cheap. We'll offer him $3.75 million for the next 2 years. We'll guarantee 60% of it since it's a low amount. Okay, he won't take that. I'm going to guess he's not going to take anything lower than $4 million. So let's try again. Quentin Spain, $4 million for 2 years, 50% guaranteed. All right, perfect. So we have re-signed Quentin Spain. That's our first re-signing. Yeah. Alex Redmond, we don't need. This is the big name I want the Bengals to keep no matter what. Spain, I could take it or leave it. These 2 corners that I'm going to try to re-sign, I would like them back, but I could take it or leave it. This is the guy we need to re-sign, Carl Lawson. He is the only edge rusher on our team that actually gets to the quarterback. He led the team with sacks, but it was seriously only 5.5 sacks, which is depressing. We have no pass rush. That's how it is. The Bengals have no such thing as pass rush, and it's pretty sad, honestly. It's, with the sack leader on our team has 5.5 sacks in a 16-game season, that is pretty darn embarrassing. So outside of offensive line, edge is just our biggest concern. And we can try to address it in the draft, but as you'll see soon, I'm going to try to address it in free agency. But it all starts first with re-signing Carl Lawson. I've looked at his over-the-cap evaluation. They have him, if I remember correctly. He's 25. He's so young. They have him around 11.6. I'm going to see if I can get him to take a hometown discount. Say, hey, we drafted you. You've been here. Take $9.5 million for the next 4 years. It's a bit lower than what a lot of people think he deserves. I think he deserves 11. Okay, he took the 9.5. That's good. We gotta save that cap money and somehow. So, Carl Lawson resign. Here's the 3 depth guys I think we can resign on the defense: Covington, Daniels, and Hunt. We can resign all 3 for cheaper than keeping one Josh Tupou. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to sign Covington to a 1-year deal, guaranteed 25% of the contract. I don't know. So Covington, 1 year, $1 million. Mike Daniels, I'm going to give $1.2 million for 2 years. I think since he's a veteran, he'll want a little more stability in his deal, so 2 years will be a little bit better for Mike Daniels. And then Marcus Hunt, I'm also going to just go with $1 million. These aren't great players, but they are good depth guys to play behind DJ Reader because we are supposedly switching to a 3-4 defense. Like I said, so there will be 3 people on the defensive line and 4 people in the linebacker area of the field. So that'll most likely be DJ Reader, Carl Lawson, and then right now it would be Sam Hubbard as the other edge rusher. But you're going to see in free agency. I hope we can get someone else. And then these 2 cornerbacks, I would like to re-sign them both. Mackenzie Alexander, I'm just going to offer him $5 million. I'm not even going to look at his over-the-cap evaluation. I'm going to offer him $5 million for 2 years. He took it. Great. All right, then one more player. That's William Jackson III. I'm going to offer him $6.5. He's been so up and down, and I think he's 28, so I'm going to offer him 3 years. He's been so up and down, but he's still, his highs are very high, and his lows are pretty darn low. He's not the best corner in the league by any means, but if we let him walk, I think we'll look back and we'll regret it, especially because we're getting Trey Waynes back. Okay, he accepted the offer. So we re-sign both of those cornerbacks. We're getting Trey Waynes back. Our secondary, we've got a great safety tandem between Jesse Bates and Von Bell. It's really, really good, that safety tandem is. So our secondary could be pretty darn good this year. Not really wanting to re-sign anyone else here, so we're entering free agency with $50 million of cap space. I like that. Just looking here, there is a certain receiver I want to re-sign, and I don't see his name on here saying he was re-signed. Although Corey Davis is a nice name, but I'm assuming the Titans are going to re-sign him. So yeah. So now we are entering free agency. It's day one. They have a 10-day free agency thing, so you have 10 days to try to sign people. We are entering free agency with $50 million in cap space. So one of the first things I want to look at is wide receiver. And so while we could try to go out and get a big name like Allen Robinson or Chris Godwin or Will Fuller did hit, that is interesting. And I've done this thing a couple of times in the past, try to see what people would accept and whatnot. Will Fuller has never really hit free agency in all those times, and I think Will Fuller would be a great addition to our team. But he can never stay healthy, is the problem. And I think their over the cap valuation says $7 million. There's no way he's accepting $7 million. That's tough. I actually don't know. That's a tough decision. So basically, what I was going to say though is people might want us to go out and make the big name signing Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin. No, I am looking at Curtis Samuel for our team. We need a field stretcher. We need a fast guy. We need someone. We need a John Ross that actually can do what John Ross was supposed to do. Curtis Samuel is fast. He's a gadget player. Carolina really finally utilized him this year. And so there's a chance he doesn't hit free agency, but if he does, I want to go all in on him. But seeing Will Fuller here, which is something I don't see often when I'm doing this, is somewhat tantalizing. Okay, you know what? We're going to make an offer for Will Fuller. We're going to offer him $9 million. He's not going to accept it. For 4 years, guarantee 50% of it. I am going to make a quick offer to Curtis Samuel. I'm just going to offer him, he's not going to accept this at all. I'm not offering it so that he does accept it. I'm just putting this offer so that he knows there's an offer on the table so he doesn't just sign with someone on day one. So yeah, I don't want Curtis Samuel to get signed while I'm trying to sign Will Fuller. Because basically if Will Fuller doesn't accept $9 million, I know Curtis Samuel will. And I'm pretty sure Will Fuller won't accept $9 million. So I just want to keep Curtis Samuel on the table. Another position that needs to be addressed is tight end. Looking here, Jonnu Smith is somewhat appealing. Given what we have available, I actually really like the idea of going after Gerald Everett. He's a Rams tight end. He's never really been the starter. Higbee's been the starter, but Zach Taylor, former quarterbacks coach for the Rams, so he has a connection with Everett. So I'm going to offer Everett $4 million. I think he's 26, so I'll offer him for 4 years, guarantee 50% of it. Okay, so far we've submitted offers to Will Fuller, Curtis Samuel, and Gerald Everett. And so another thing that needs to be addressed, guard. And listen, Bengals fans, I 100% want Brandon Sheriff. I'm not lying to you. I want Brandon Sheriff a lot. We need a really good guard. We don't have a really good guard. We have two serviceable guards. And I'd say Spain is way more serviceable than Suafilo, but again, we didn't really get to see Suafilo this year because of his injury. But we need a better guard. And while I love Brandon Sheriff, and I think he's the best guard that's available in free agency, he's going to demand a lot of money. Like a lot. It's a little too much than a little more than I'm willing to pay a guard. But we will make an offer. I'll show you the most I'm willing to pay him. That's the most I'm willing to pay him. So we're going to make an offer, but if Brandon Sheriff declines, I'm going to go right for Joe Thuney. I think that's who we actually should go for. He's an Ohio boy, so he might take some sort of a home field discount. Not really. But I think he'll be cheaper, and I think he could give us pretty similar production to Sheriff. But I will offer Sheriff money first. And again, I'm just going to go with Joe Thuney, make an offer so that it's on the table, so that he doesn't sign somewhere else, just to be sure. That's really just throwing a number there. Okay. Last thing I want to check out on this first day, like I said, we need an improved edge rusher. As much as I would love to steal Dupree or Judon away from the Steelers and Ravens and, make their teams worse, This is the guy I want. I want Shaq Barrett. He had 19 and a half sacks in a season one time. So I'm going to start off with a $16 million offer for 3 years. I think he's 28, so I'll offer him it for 3 years. All right. And also, I want a better backup QB. And here he is right here. He's been the guy I go to every time I'm doing free agency. We signed Marcus Mariota to be our backup QB. I think he's one of the best backups you can get. All right. So that's all the offers for day one. Let's see what we got. All right. Yep, that's what I expected. Will Fuller declined our offer and accepted a 4-year offer for $14.6 million a year for the New York Jets. That's interesting. But yeah, I was not expecting Fuller to accept $9 million, and I was not willing to pay him more than $10 million. Good thing is Curtis Samuel did not sign anywhere else. Sheriff did not sign somewhere else. Thuney didn't sign somewhere else. Barrett didn't sign somewhere else, and Mariota didn't sign somewhere else. We did get Gerald Everett though for 4 years for $4 million. I like that. That's good. So let's just go back in and get our guys. All right. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna actually offer Curtis Samuel something this time. I think Curtis Samuel is a great field stretching speedster gadget player that we need. So I'm going to offer him $8.5 million. $8.5 million for 4 years. He's 25 or 24. He's young, so I think we can offer him for 4 years. All right, tight end, we got our Gerald Everett. So Brandon Sheriff, $15 million. That's more than I'm willing to pay. So we'll knock about a little bit more money off as we offered to Thuney, and we'll see if Joe Thuney wants it. Okay, and back to Shaq Barrett. He's going to cost quite a bit. I know that, but I'm willing to. If I'm the Bengals, I'm willing to spend quite a bit to get a guy who literally had 19 and a half sacks in a season when we can't get any quarterback pressure. All right, Mariota. He might need like 4.5. I'll give him 4.5 to be our backup. Yeah, that should work. 4.5 for Mariota to be our backup. Yeah, I'd say so. All right, done submitting offers. All right, we got Curtis Samuel, we got Joe Thuney, and we got Mariota. Last thing we're doing is just really trying with Shaq Barrett. All right, cool. All right, let's go back to the table with Shaq Barrett. We come back, we're like, Shaq, listen, man. We want you to be a Cincinnati Bengal, all right? The Buccaneers, you did a 19.5 sack season, and the Buccaneers franchise tagged you, man. That's wrong. So why don't you come be a Bengal where we'll actually pay you? Once you offered him $16 million, we'll pay you $17 million a year, Shaq. All right, this is me talking as the Bengals to Shaq Barrett. $17 million. Let's go for it. Why not? Let's offer to him. I also want to look just to see if there's any we obviously don't want Kevin King. Just got burned pretty bad. Yeah, there's no real cornerbacks I want. Okay, yeah, there's nothing really outside of who we've already signed. So yeah, we offered Shaq Barrett more. Let's see if he takes it. Man, Shaq Barrett is being pretty darn stingy, guys. 17 million. All right, how much cap space do we have to work with now? We've got 28 million. Okay. So we've got money to work with, because I've re-signed who I wanted to re-sign, and then we got Everett, Samuel, Thuney, and Mariota. Shaq Barrett, it's a lot of money, but all right, 17.5. We're not gonna go up by millions anymore. We're gonna go up by half millions. Come on, Shaq. Come on, that's 17.5 million. There we go. There it is. We got Shaq Barrett. All right, perfect. So here's my thing. I'm of the view that free agency is where you fill the holes on your roster, and the draft is where you draft players that can fill those holes in the future. I mean, some of them, if you're picking really high, like last year with us with Joe Burrow. Here's the thing, the quarterback wasn't really a hole, it was just needed improvement. And so that's what I think the draft is. You fill the holes in free agency, and then you improve positions that you have that aren't necessarily fill a hole worthy, but you need to improve them is what you do in the draft. So we signed. This is who I want the Bengals to do in free agency. These are the guys I want them to re-sign. Right here. Actually, I'll just skip to the end of free agency because there's no more signings I want to make. So I'll just summarize it. So I re-signed. So we cut those guys. It's hard to say goodbye to Geno. and we let, AJ walk. But there's the cap hit for everyone I signed. We re-signed Spain, we re-signed Lawson, some depth guys, we re-signed the 2 cornerbacks. And then we go out and we get a really, not really good. I don't think Gerald Everett's a really good tight end. I just think he's better than Uzama. So we go out and we get a tight end who I don't think has hit his ceiling yet. I don't think Everett's hit his ceiling yet. I think he could hit his ceiling with the Bengals. So we go out, we get Everett. We get Curtis Samuel. We get our gadget speedster. We get a better guard with Joe Tooney. We get a better backup QB. And then we pay a lot of money, but it's worth it because we get a good edge rusher. All right. So that's free agency. Now we're moving on to the draft. I'm using Pro Football Network's mock draft simulator just because there's trades and stuff. So I'll pick the Bengals. We'll do 4 rounds. Let's go. I will actually be doing a mock draft video soon. Ooh, Sewell to the Jets is interesting. See, if we, I'm of the mindset that if we don't sign Curtis Samuel in free agency, I would want us to take Jamar Chase at 5. With Sewell there, I'm not even kidding. I think Burrow's connection with Jamar Chase is, Sewell's, I would obviously be fine with either Sewell or Chase, but I think we do need a true number 1 wide receiver. I think T. Higgins is good. I think he could be that, but we don't have a top 3. We have a top 2. All right, so the Jets are offering us a bunch of picks to move up. I don't know if I want to move that back that far. I kind of want to get Rashawn Slater if we can, but I also don't want to reach for him at 5 because I feel like 5 is a reach for Rashawn Slater. I think he's good, but I feel like 5 is a reach. So here's what we'll do. We'll accept this offer from the Jets. And what I'm going to do is I believe the first threat to Rashawn Slater is the Chargers at 13. So we're going to let this play out a little bit more. All right. I believe that the Chargers are the biggest threat to Rashawn Slater before we pick that we traded back to 23. So I'm going to offer the Chargers, proposed trade, to the Chargers. I kind of want to still pick at 23 if we can. Okay. Let's see what they do with this offer. Okay. I still kind of do. I still really would like to pick at 23, I think. You know what? I'm trying to work out what a fair trade would be. Because I would like to have 2 picks in the first round. The more I think, the more I'm like, I would really like to have 2 first-round picks. Man, they're being stingy. Because there's a lot of talent in this first-round draft class that I really do like. I'm offering him next year first. I'll even offer him. I want to keep that higher second rounder. Why not offer them? Yeah. You know what? All right. It cost us a bit. I will admit. I don't think the Bengals would make that trade in real life. But I think that that's the kind of trade that we picked twice in the first round now. All right. Back to so we're at 13. Micah Parsons is available, which is huge. We do need some better linebackers. I'm not going to deny that. But we got to take Rashawn Slater. No question in my mind. All right, let's just see who falls to us at 23. This gives us the luxury to see who falls to us at 23. Okay, so there are some offers. But I see Azeez Ojulari and I see Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I see them sitting there. And no, we're not trading with the Browns. We don't want to make them better. Okay, I want to pick at 23. Let's see here. I do like the guard Wyatt Davis, but we signed Tooney and we got... do we take the edge? We signed Shaq Barrett. Or do we take the linebacker? You know what? We're going to take the linebacker. We're going to take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think he's a good talent. I don't think he could fall out of the first round in my mind. But we very much so need linebacker. So I think that's a good pick for us. The Bills, we're friendly with you, but I kind of want to pick at 34. I don't want to trade all the way out of the second round. Okay, we could take Joseph Osai, the edge from Texas. That's an interesting pick we could make. Same with Jason Oweh, the edge from Penn State. But there is Wyatt Davis, the guard from Ohio State, still available. I say we take Wyatt Davis. We've got Tooney, but Quentin Spain can be replaced. I like Spain. There's a reason I re-signed him in this off-season simulation. But Quentin Spain can be replaced, and I think getting young talent like um, like Wyatt Davis would be big. Alright, we're just going through. It's simulating all these picks. I actually like this Bears pick, Aaron Robinson, cornerback from UCF. He's been who I think the Bengals should target in the third round if he falls there. But obviously he does not fall there in this simulation. Okay. I see a name I like, so I'm just not even going to look at these. I don't think this is going to happen in real life. I don't think Eric Stokes is falling to the third round. But if he does, we got to grab him. Yeah, I was not even going to toy with those trade offers because I saw Eric Stokes' name. I think he's a lot better than people are giving him credit for. You know, there are some concerns. He's a little bit raw. I will say that there needs to be some development there. But I think if he falls to the third round, if he falls to us in the third round, we can't pass him up. So, yeah. All right, the draft is just going and going and going. We've only got one more round, round 4. And so we are making one more pick in round 4. Or is there more than... Do we have more than one pick in round 4? We got 101 and we got 105. Okay, so we've got 2 picks in round 4. Who do we want to take? Once you get to round 4, it's more best player available and no longer like filling holes or like, you know, drafting by needs. It's more best player available. Round 4. We already took a guard and a tackle. Wide receiver from Elijah. So there's some wide receivers. You know what? Why not get some wide receiver depth? I like Elijah Moore a little bit more than I like Eskridge. So why not get some wide receiver depth? And you know what? I'm trying to think here. You know what? Let's take Shaun Wade. He obviously I think we just need to change him back to corner and not have him do. I mean, he really tanked his draft stock in the last 3 games of the season for the Buckeyes. I'm a Buckeyes fan, so I watched him just get continuously burnt by almost every wide receiver he went up against. So, but that's the perfect 4th round pick for us. See, we've seen his talent. We know he can be good. He just needs to improve a little bit. All right, so in our 4 rounds of the mock draft, we picked twice in the first round. We get Rashawn Slater and then Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. We get Wyatt Davis in the second, Eric Stokes in the third, and then Elijah Moore and Shaun Wade in the 4th. That's a pretty darn good draft for the Bengals. And same with, we had a good free agency too with all those signings we made. So that will do it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you continue to tune in. I'm very excited for what I can do with this channel. Going to be doing a mock draft, a first-round mock draft very soon for every team, not just Bengals. And of course, I'll be covering big trade news. Maybe I'll do a predictions video for where I think some of the quarterbacks this free agency will go. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.